Good day, everybody. Welcome back. Firstly, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. I've been having some time off art. I did these actually before Christmas, and I just want to show you how I made this mold. And I tell you what, it was not easy. What you can see there, that black object, is just a really thick cardboard, which I had shaped around some coasters that I had, which were pentagonal, and I wanted to be able to sort of fit them in there. And I did the bottom and then the sides. I did not video that. It was just because I had so many attempts, so I ended up doing it off camera. Trust me, I tried cardboard, I tried plastic, I tried all kinds of things, but this thick cardboard really worked because it was easy-ish enough to shape. And now I've just got some clay. This is air drying clay. So I wasn't sure how long I would have, like how much time I'll have before it starts to set on me. So I was rushing like a mad, crazy woman. But you know, it would have been easier just to read the description on the packet, but no time for that. And who reads them anyway? I'm sure somebody does, a smart person, not me. And now I'm just, so there's two parts to this, because what I'm trying to create is a bowl or a vessel to hold these coasters that I had made as presents for Christmas. But I thought, you know, it would be nice to have something to put them in and keep them in there until, you know, the time that we want to use them. So that's what I did. So that was a smaller kind of container that I shaped this. See, there it is. It's going in now. Just making sure that it fits and there's enough room to pour my silicone mixture in there to create a silicone mold. So I have lined both of the containers with this clay, and now trying to smooth it and just using a little bit of water, just dipping my fingers into that water. And the nails really didn't help. They're not really long, but they're long enough that they keep making these indentations into my structure that I'm trying to create here as smooth as possible. So then I decided that I wouldn't do it as smooth, that I would just create some really nice kind of lumpy, bubbly effects there, and see how that goes. Now I'm using clay because I know that silicone won't stick to clay and will come off, but it won't be a smooth, shiny surface when I pour my resin. I'm well aware of that, but I just didn't know and didn't sort of have time to create this a mold for my mold out of some kind of plastic or something like that, which would leave my resin nice and shiny and clear. But I figured I'm just going to see how this goes, and if this goes well, then I can create another mold doing it properly. But I have found a way to, you know, it's more work. You know, you don't get a nice shiny kind of smooth outcome, but you can always pour resin over that afterwards and just revive those colors and make it nice and you know, clear and transparent and glossy and whatever you want. So now that I've popped the smaller piece into my larger piece, I'm going around just with a spatula and trying to smooth the wall and trying to figure out, like I actually went to bed so many nights just thinking about how to do this. And because of course I did go on to see there those little bumpy bits that I did create like a little flower effect. But see, that is going to be, sorry, that's going to be the bottom. And the bottom is going to be the top. So like I said, I was going to bed every night for days just thinking about how to do this, how to create it. And in my mind, just going through all the stages of creating this mold, and then pouring the mold solution into it, and demolding it, and then pouring in resin and seeing how it will work. I was doing all of that in my brain. I'm telling you, I had some really weird dreams after doing that, but it's just what you do. So there it is. The smaller piece is going in now, pressing it in nicely and just going around with my spatula again, just smoothing out and creating those little creases on the outer side as well. Just thought I'd tell you, I've used about 1 kilo of clay, which cost about $7 or maybe $8 Australian, which is about $5 American. And you just kind of destroy that. So what I have here is I just have those coasters, and I've just wrapped them in plastic and sellotape, and I thought I'll pop them in there just to fill in this area, because I know that the mold solution is not going to stick to that, and I didn't want to waste too much of it, because I knew that I didn't have enough of my silicone mix to fill in the whole hole, if you know what I mean. So that's why I popped in those kind of blanks in there to keep that free of the silicone. So now here comes the silicone. I believe it's called Silica, and I bought it on eBay. So it's 1-to-1 ratio. You put the two parts together and you mix and mix and mix until it's all nice and mixed and the same sort of color. So one is kind of more clear and one is white. So you want to mix those two together so you have this one solid white. Mixing, mixing, mixing. And it's quite fun doing that. So I'm doing it in a plastic cup, which kind of makes it real easy to pull that the silicone out of it, and it leaves a clean cup, which is good. So you save your cup. And now pouring my silicone in there. And you know what, guys, I'm really sorry. I really should have done the whole video from creating that actual my actual blanks for this, but I didn't do it. I'm really sorry. It's only because it's been so frustrating to get it done, and so many attempts. So one that actually worked, I didn't video. So there you have it. So there it is. I've popped it all in, and now it's the next day, and I am ready to take all that stuff off. And that was a bit of a process. There goes the cardboard, just pulling that off, and I'm actually using my my knife there to release some of the cardboard, and there's the clay. It's mostly sort of dried up, so that's a bit of a fiddly thing to just kind of take that off. So I'm using my stirring stick and all kinds of things. Oh my god, the phone's going off. Okay, so I'm not going to have any more interruptions because I've just put my phone on silent. Unless we get a storm or the bird starts going crazy, and that I really can't help. So still taking that off, and I just realized that I made a boo-boo here, because that top area, I wasn't really supposed to cover that. So anyway, I cut that off, and now trying to get this thing off, and oh my lordy lordy, that was not easy to take out. But perseverance, cardboard went off, and then the clay, it's slowly coming off, and some of it I actually did off camera because it just kept dragging on and on and on. But you know what? It's all worth it in the end. So it's not the most of a perfect kind of thing that I did, but it was definitely something that I've learned. So then that little piece is coming off now, so I had to cut off some of the resin off that and pull out that little piece out, which had my coasters in there, and they came off. And now you can see that I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, I was just trimming the edges at the bottom. That's fine, that's on the outside, but on the inside it looks quite messy. Actually, the whole table was messy. But anyway, I'm just looking at the middle and thinking I should have really filled that in. That was supposed to be filled in for it to work. So then I decided all the offcuts, another clever idea, and all the offcuts, I'll just pop them in to save on whatever I had left of my silicone mold mixture. And you know, save on that. Didn't really work out because once I poured in my silicone mixture in there, it started, all those little bits and pieces started floating up to the top, so I ended up dragging them out anyway. So many mistakes, but that's why I'm showing you this, so that you don't do it. Sometimes you just have to use what you have and don't try to cheat on it, which is what I did, you know, because these silicone things are not cheap to buy, and that's why the silicone molds are really expensive to buy, because you know that the actual compound that makes it is quite expensive. So there I go, I was all filled in, and I decided to put some little bubbly silicone bubbles in there. Bubbly bubbles, there you go, that's the proper technical name for it. So here we go, it is ready to go now, and I am actually going to pour some resin in there and see what happens. So because my coasters for these particular coasters were kind of brownish, burnt amber kind of color, that's why I am creating the actual holder piece in that sort of color. And then I decided to put some more of those acrylic bubbles in there, and just kind of sprinkle them over the top a little bit. And I'm just going to wait a little bit before I pour. I'll mix some more resin and pour some more resin over it, because it's supposed to cover that whole top area for it to work. And now just spreading those bubbles out into the sides, just trying to keep that top bit free. Hello bird, I had another visitor come in to say hello, because I'm talking, all of these animals around me think I'm talking to them. Anywho, you gotta have fun. So scrapey, and soon I will pour some more resin over the top of the whole thing, and that's going to happen very soon. Oh, not quite. I'm putting in some of these the crushed glass. I'm sorry, I do apologize. It's because I've done this like a few weeks ago, and I totally forgot the process, and now I'm watching it and reminding myself, so I do apologize for that. So yeah, I decided that I wanted to have some of the same sort of crushed glass that I used in my coasters, and to have them in my coaster holder bowl. And now it is time to demold, and you can see that it's quite matte. It is not shiny like you normally get with resin and molds. So this was a real bugger to pull out, but I figured it out now, and I've done another one after this one, and it came out much easier. But this was the first one, and I just couldn't figure out how to pull out that middle section out of it. So I did a little bit of fiddling, and then finally, yep, I got it out. A lot of tugging and pulling, and it was out, and the mold stayed intact, which was quite amazing to me. But anyway, any second now. Here comes Yay, it is out and free. So there it is. There's my little bowl. It looks quite matte, but not a problem with that, because you can always spray some clear, like even varnish, and that'll revive that nice beautiful shine. I'm just using a nail file to file off the edges a little bit to make them nice and smooth. And there goes my coasters, and they fit perfectly in there. So there you have it, all done. I'm real happy, and can't wait to do some more of these. Hope you liked it. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe if you're new, because I'm constantly putting in new things that you might enjoy and want to learn about. Thanks again for watching. Bye. And here is another one that I made, which looks kind of rustic and quite funky, and it did come out matte, but all I did was I just popped it onto something and poured some resin over it, and here voila.